Kendo Podcast by Hiro Mafuji from Kendo-Guide.com. Thank you for listening. This podcast is about Japanese martial arts Kendo for Kendo lovers and supported by Kendo enthusiasts through Patreon.com. Thank you for your support, guys. Please visit Kendo-Guide.com for more Kendo information and how to support Kendo-Guide.com. Kendo Podcast Episode 13. I'm sorry I couldn't update for a long time because I hurt my back really badly this time, so I couldn't sit in front of my computer for a long time, and at last, now I'm sitting down in front of the microphone and talking to you. I don't think I can sit here for a long time, so this podcast will be a little shorter, or I don't know, if I don't feel pain, I'll just keep going. Let's see. And I would like to talk about, in this episode, how to improve main strike in Jigeiko or in Shiai. That is a question by I'm sorry I can't pronounce your middle name, Minche One from Costa Rica. I've known him for a long time through Facebook, and he is a great supporter at patreon.com, and I really appreciate your constant support. And his question is, basically, I'll read it to you. I have some difficulties when I'm doing Keiko. Keiko is training. Keiko is training. By the way, there is a podcast about the meaning of Keiko, so I think it's previous one, episode 12. So please go and listen to it. And also there's an article to go with it. So if you come to, or just probably Google Kendo-Guide.com Keiko, it should be there. Okay? And Keiko is spelling the spelling of Keiko is Keiko. Keiko, okay? So I think I can strike with confidence and very good Yuko Datotsu. Yuko Datotsu is valid cut in men strike when I'm doing waza, Keiko, or Uchikomi Keiko. This is very common, and his question is he cannot do it with confident strike. I think probably good posture or good kendo in Jigeiko and Shiai Geiko. Shiai Geiko is Shiai practice. Shiai is match practice. And it is very common. He can't do it. He can't strike properly, especially in posture. And the power of the strike probably gets weaker as well. And do you have some suggestions, such as some particular Keiko to improve the main strike in Jigeiko? And my other question is, what's more recommendable, striking big or small man in Jigeiko? Okay, this is really common issue for everyone, and I my students, of course myself too. That's because main thing is it's mental, psychological. In Jigeiko, Jigeiko is free sparring. In Jigeiko, you don't want to get hit, right? You want to hit. So it's your brain is telling you not to get hit, because emotionally you don't want to get hit. But in Jigeiko, you really have to strike, otherwise you don't learn. So it's very psychological. In just basic training, the Kihon training, no one's gonna strike you back. No one's gonna strike you. They're waiting for you to execute strikes, right? They're letting you strike, so you feel confident and you can execute good strikes. Okay, with Yuko, that's a valid point. Your posture is good, your kiai is good. You integrate all the elements, factors you need to get a valid point, valid cut. So it is normal, right? And you train that base, and then all of the sudden in Jigeiko, especially in Shiai, you don't want to get hit. You don't want to lose. You want to win. Especially in Shiai, if you get hit, you pretty much lose. So of course, if your opponent doesn't have perfect elements, factors that he needs or she needs to get a valid cut, they won't get a point. But still, if you get hit, it pretty much lose. So you don't want to get hit. So your posture becomes funny, distorted, and you destroy everything you learned. Everything is out of the window. So you can see that in Jigeiko too. But you should the real keiko, real training of kendo is to overcome the fear. That is the real thing. Okay, so you have to focus on getting over the fear. That's the main thing you're training. You're not training to hit or not to get hit, especially Jigeiko. A long time ago, I read an article about the word Jigeiko. Ji means ground, and keiko, right? Ground training. That doesn't make sense, right? But Ji means the power, strength of your foundation. Okay, so it could mean the foundation of your kendo, and also it means the foundation of yourself, like confident. So those you have to make sure as a person you have to overcome a lot of things: fear, doubt. We call it 4 sicknesses in kendo. You have to overcome fear. You have to overcome doubt. You have to overcome surprise. If you get surprised, okay, if you're jumpy, you cannot really strike, right? Every time your opponent does something, you just get surprised, or jump all the time. You can't really do anything. So you have to make sure you train that part of your personality or emotions. You have to calm yourself down, right? So hesitate. You don't want to hesitate. Okay, if you have to strike, you have to just strike. A lot of people stop striking. Okay, they launched their strike, boom, like, right, and then they stop their strikes because they think they're not going to get it, or they think they're going to get hit. So they stop it, and they never know if they got it or not. Okay, so they hesitate. They're not confident. All right, they're still fear. Still fear is there. All right, I'm not gonna get it. I'm afraid I'm gonna get hit. Okay, that's why you stop. Hesitation. All the 4 sicknesses right there, and you have doubt in yourself too. You're not confident. You have a doubt. You have doubt in your strike. You have doubt in yourself. You have doubt that you're not going to get a good result. So you hesitate. You stop doing what you just started. In Jigeiko, you see life, your life right there. Okay, so that's why Kendo is still Budo. Okay, you have to fight yourself. It is all you, and if you can strike, okay, if you not can, you should strike. You should execute your strikes. It doesn't matter the result, okay? And then there's a saying in Kendo. In Kendo, you don't win by striking. You win first and then strike, okay? You don't win because you strike your opponent. You win and strike. That means before you strike, You have to have the process. You have to already win. Probably you remember if you have listened to other podcast. I don't remember which number, which episode it was, but I talked about ninth dan sensei, and one ninth dan sensei took center of this sensei, and then this sensei says, "You won. You got my center." That is the process. He didn't strike, right? He didn't strike, but before he executed his strike, he won. The result is maybe the other sensei can block it or, like duck or something, but it's not that in Kendo. You win before you strike. That's why we are very careful before we execute our strikes, right? So that's why. You it's not a techniques. You have to work on your fear. You have to work on how to get over your fear. How do you do it? You just have to strike. You have to win it. Okay, and kakari geiko is one of the things. And I want to say one thing, that basic training, okay, that we call it kihon, right? It is said in old days, people do, a lot of senseis did a lot of kirikaishi, okay? It's because it's basics of kendo, but it is because you have to have good foundation and good, if you want to have good foundation, you have to forget about what you think. You learn, you listen to your teacher, and you do what your teacher says to do. Okay? Like removing your ego. That's the kihon part. Okay? So that's why it's a big, when your sensei says, do it big, you do it big. Okay? So you commit yourself into the basic training. Remove your ego. Just focus on what you're told to do. That is that's the first thing you should do, and then you can improve very fast. You can expect fast improvement there. That's because it's non-ego there. It's only you and teachers teaching, and then yourself performing what you're told to do. Okay, so it's a commitment. You just commit yourself there. You forget about those fear, doubt. No doubt is there, right? No doubt is there. You probably feel fear because you won't last long. You might pass out. Okay, but you just get rid of that. You have no doubt in the basics. Just believe in what you do. All right. And just keep doing it. And one day, you have confidence. And you go, and then Jigeiko, how you gain confidence, you have to strike. And you have to strike however you learned, in a way, however you learned, and strike. If it doesn't work, if it didn't work, you try another thing. Maybe, all right, because Kendo is not one way road. Two ways. You have an opponent, so you have to think how your opponent will react to your strikes, right? So you have to do a lot of work before you strike. That's the process part. So you have to see how your opponent would receive, right? So make them receive first, okay? Or when you get in, they might come in. Okay, so you have to first understand your opponent. You know what you're capable of. So you have to know your opponent this time, right? And you have to start planning what you're going to do. Okay, once you plan, stick to the plan. If it didn't work, do something else. That's how you gain confidence. And something worked, you remember that. Do it again. Maybe not work. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it works again. Okay? And if it works again over and over and over on your opponent, that is telling your opponent this is your weakness. So you have to keep, if you're a teacher or if you're higher than your opponent, that's how you teach them without words. Keep striking their weakness. So they'll realize, why am I getting that all the time? Now they start think about it. Of course, they get frustrated. They get angry, maybe at you first. But one day they'll realize, oh, that's me. All about, I'm doing that. I'm doing something wrong. So first, you have to get rid of your fear. And second, you have to learn how to make a plan before you strike. So that's the process. In the process, probably you heard of sansappo or sansatsu, which means three ways of killing your opponent, or before you strikes. So first, you have to kill it's not first. There are three. They're equally important, but easiest way is kill the shinai, kill the sword. That's one thing. Kill the sword means as long as your opponent's shinai is right in front of you, you won't be able to strike. So you have to do something about it, right? So you have to slap the shinai away, or hit it away, or you have to execute makiwaza, whatever it takes. See what happens. Okay, so you have to do something about the shinai. So that's one thing, easier to do. Probably it's the easiest thing to do. And then you kill the technique of your opponent. You have to know what your opponent was going to do. So you have to kill it. So basically you have to. It's related to kill the shinai. If you kill the shinai, you pretty much dysfunction your opponent, so they can't do anything about it. But of course, your opponent is better than you. They have more techniques maybe. So you have to know what they can do. So you have to start killing those techniques. So take those techniques away from your opponent, right? How do you do it? So you have to plan what you do. So for example, if your opponent is good at kote kaishi men, okay, so if you strike kote, they're gonna do execute kote kaishi men, maybe. Okay, so once you figure that out, you evoke it. Okay, kote, and you know what he's gonna strike, so you can strike do or something like that, right? So of course, if you cannot strike do, it's not a wise way to do it. But you can probably strike kote, for example. Okay, kote, and he's gonna kaishi men is coming, so you got kote and it's strike kote. You never know what works, so you do it. That's what you have to do in Jigeiko. Okay, and that's the kill the techniques and kill the key energy inside. So that's the hardest part. I don't think I can do it. Even if I could do it, I wouldn't know I did it. So intentionally, I can't do it. Okay, I might be able to do it, but I can't do it. So probably kill korosu, kill the key energy. That means you gives fear. That's probably easiest. Put pressure, so your opponents start going backwards. Oh, I can't do anything. So it's like, oh, sorry, I'm not very hungry, but my tummy is so noisy. So you put pressure. So your opponents go, oh, you feel fear. That's one of the 4 sicknesses. So you give fear and start going backwards, and then strike man. Even if you didn't get a point, or your shinai didn't reach the target, you're really good, So you have, and then of course, once you're doing, you can do the kyo korosu part, the kill the key energy. Probably you don't have to worry about your posture or something, Okay, so it goes. You can kill the key energy, so you're pretty good. So that is the main thing. So you have to learn how to kill the sword, kill the shinai, and kill the techniques. So work on those two, and you become more confident, physical wise. But first, you have to. So it's probably you have to work on both. Probably it's a synergy. You once work, you have to work as. So you can, if you cannot work with the fear, probably you can work on kill the shinai part and kill the technique part, and then you gain confidence. Okay, once you are confident, you can probably overcome the fear. So it goes both ways, right? So do that, all right? Do whatever it fits you, and small or big strikes. I think you should do both. It's not like which one is better than which. Like I said, if you are relying on physical abilities, smaller is better. Maybe you can make it faster and you can make it stronger. You can train your wrist and everything. But that's a part of Kendo. We are doing Kendo, so we should be working on those physical parts of Kendo, right? And also big part. Okay, big part is if you execute big main strike, it won't really, people will know, oh, it's coming, right? And because of that, it's very hard to get valid cut with big strikes. But if your opponent can't do anything about it, it's probably working because they're just receiving, right? So if you mix those techniques, big, small strikes, big strikes, small strikes, middle size strikes, you mix them all together, and that confuses your opponent. Whoa, he can do this too. Whoa, he can do small strikes too. I just don't know what to do. If your opponent feels that I don't know what to do, and then you win. Okay, that is, I shouldn't say you win. It's part of fear, right? The four sicknesses: fear, hesitation, doubt. Whoa, I can't tell. I don't think I can handle this, So that's kind of mind game in Kendo, right? So yes, it is true that you can work on techniques part, and then you can overcome fear, and also you can always work on fear. It's you, so you have to control your fear. Maybe you can do mokuso meditation, or you can just work on every just try to work. It's about you. So improving to overcome your fear, you should do whatever it takes. And in Kendo wise, you have to have the confidence, so you can work on technique. You're gonna learn how to kill swords and how to kill techniques. Okay, and then once you're confident, your opponent will feel it. If you're not confident, they also know you're not confident. So even if you're not confident, don't look like you're not confident. Just try to be confident. Okay, so that's the kamae comes part. If your kamae is really big, and then like pretend you're like an 8th dan sensei, people, your opponent might think, wow, I don't think I can strike now. If you give them that impression, you're causing one of the four sicknesses to your opponent, right? So try everything you could. Okay, first, be confident. No, I can't be confident. Then work on your basics, work on whatever it takes. Do kakari geiko, uchikomi geiko, I did this much, so that's okay. Just my I worked so hard. I worked harder than you. I'm not, I'm not afraid of you. That's a confidence, right? So yeah, that is the power of Keiko. You can work on yourself, and once you overcome your fear, your strikes will start getting close to the target. That's how you know. Oh, I'm getting, my Kendo is working. That means your inside you are getting stronger. Okay, so I hope this advice helps you too, and helps everyone listening to this podcast. Okay, thank you for listening, and please leave a comment and suggestions. Comments are always helpful because, and then I know what you want to know, and also the positive feedback is always good because then it gives me energy to keep going. And of course, if you can support me through patreon.com slash Kendo-Guide, I think it was Kendo for Life, that would be great. And I can start doing more stuff and then more frequently, so I can contribute to the Kendo community more. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.